son, where'd you find this?
That's how you know somebody doesn't respect you. They listen to reply, not to be understood. They cut you off. They minimize what actually matters to you. They laugh at your boundaries, and then they call you sensitive when you try to hold the line. They show up late, they cancel last minute, forget the things you've told them, because in their world, your time, your energy, even your voice aren't a priority. They're just an option. You see, there are two kinds of people. Those who adjust when they realize they've actually hurt you, and those who expect you to adjust so they don't have to change. You don't need to be disrespected loudly to be disrespected deeply. Sometimes you'll see it. It's just in their tone, in their patterns, in the silence after you're known. Respect isn't what they say when they're watching. It's how they act when they think you'll tolerate it.
The flow insane, take my spot, so the range. Shoot my shot with perfect aim. 3rd degree, that perfect flame. Ain't no sleep, that's the game. Oh, so southern, that's the slang. When they see me, that's the main. Chasing checks and fly like planes. Big old stick, I bought a cane. Flick my wrist and bought the ring. I'm so boss, we're not the same. Paid the cost and kept the change. Now I'm walking Hall of Fame. And I reside in the cloud. Grand wishes with these bitches. Taking pictures with the crowd, and I'm out.
Good evening, peace and blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. How's everybody doing today? I hope all is well. I hope you are warm. Not warm, well, that might be your thing. I'm not really into the extreme heat. I hope you're hydrated. I hope you made it safe to your destinations. I appreciate you for being here. Shout out to my poets, writers, content creators, and everybody in between. If I didn't mention you, it wasn't intentional. Promise you. Look at the title, look at it real close. I want to address this conversation that Mr. Shannon Sharp had with one of his guests. Matter of fact, my apologies. Not Shannon. I got the wrong clip up here. Actually, this is about Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce, he had some choice words. Sydney is in the studio. I'm going to bring her up here shortly. Do me a solid, like, share, repost. Let the people know that we are online. Before I do anything else, let me bring her up. Good evening. I hope all is well.
Hello. I like the Aussie glasses.
I appreciate it. I got a couple of pairs that I haven't worn in a while. I might pull them out at some point in the summer. I don't know yet. How you doing though?
Pretty good. It is hot today. It is really warm. So, not a super fan of the heat right now, but other than that, my day's gone pretty good. Just had an appointment in the morning and hung out with my husband and kids afterwards. So it was a pretty easygoing day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, look, Paul Pierce is a former NBA legend. He has a podcast on YouTube. He does fairly well. In this clip, he's going off on streamers. I'm not going to speak for him. I'm going to let him express himself. verbatim, so there's no misunderstandings about what he's talking about. And I wanted to kind of address a couple things that he mentioned here. So I'm gonna bring it up on the big screen. I wanted to do J Lo, but I just went on ahead and went a different direction with it. So my apologies for the last second change. Let me bring this up on a biggie.
Man, you know what I'm mad though? I'm calling out all you goddamn streamers. I'm calling out all you other motherfuckers who ain't got no talent getting money. This is what y'all doing because y'all really nerds in real life and y'all going out here spending money on these chicks because y'all couldn't get them in real life because y'all weak. And y'all only popular because y'all getting money off of this and that and y'all ain't got no game. So y'all going out here and putting the price of a girl up to a certain level to where now you got all these girls out here thinking that they can get dollars like that. That's why she said that shit like that when you got cats out here like, hey, yeah, give you 100,000 to $1 million. Man, that shit is weak. Oh, motherfuckers, y'all ain't mad at y'all getting y'all money, but like y'all driving the price up too much to where y'all got these girls out here all in their head thinking they could just like, it's squares out here. It's real squares out here y'all following. Really. And they paying these females hundreds of thousands, millions, and gassing them up. So now motherfuckers come out and they like 15 million. Yeah, all right. Here a pack of gum. Take that. If you don't want that, get out of here. I ain't rolling, dog. This world is all fucked up. There's too many nerds getting money.
And yeah, that's that. I want to say this because I think there's more to this. I don't know where that came from, but I can only speculate that he's basing this response off of a number of other discussions that branched from specific women in this genre who have obtained a certain level of attitude based on being treated a certain way that they probably don't deserve to be treated. And it's due to the fact that there are men out here who move so recklessly with their success that is confusing when you have one person who has boundaries and standards versus someone who just gives you access to everything. So I think that's what he's speaking on, but I'll go into that a little deeper. What did you hear though specifically?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out who exactly he was talking about, but I definitely resonated with the idea that he was discussing in the sense of like creators, social media influencers, people on YouTube, people on Twitter, Twitch, all of the people that are using social media back like 2016 into early 2020 or before 2020, when people were still like most people weren't really making it their career. It was usually the people that were like already kind of internet personalities or just kind of happened to hit a niche that people found popular. You had more. You didn't have as many people coming onto YouTube or any of the streaming services for money. Most of the people were doing it mostly for fun, except for, as I said, the people that really like found a niche. But now we're in an era where almost everyone expects to become famous somehow. Like people see these internet celebrities that are making hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars, or even OnlyFans and stuff like that. They're seeing other people making this amount of money and thinking, oh, I could do that too. Like, I just have to put out videos and I just have to do XYZ and I'll be able to get millions of viewers and I'll be able to get money. But I just watched a video on this recently where it does not pay the same nowadays. Like, because the market is so oversaturated, people, you have to be exceptional to be able to make it in that industry now. Like, you can't just be a consistent poster. You have to go above and beyond and keep upping the ante every time with your videos to make it to the levels that some of these people are at. And even if you do, some people never really make it to that point, because it also now is very much algorithm based and who's able to kind of work the system the best. So I definitely feel what he was saying, where people think that they can just kind of step in and become special just because they're putting themselves on camera. But nowadays that does not guarantee them being famous or even like notable at all. Like, a lot of people are producing the same exact content, and so it takes a lot to put yourself above everyone else. I mean, stats show kids under the age of 25 today, 9 out of 10 of them want to be an influencer of some sort. So we definitely have a massive oversaturation of the market. I won't touch on it now, but I will touch on it later. I'll just comment on it now. I definitely don't agree with his assertion that it's the nerds that are taking over. I think the nerds are the ones that are kind of being forgotten, because now a lot of the content is really vapid, in my opinion. Like, you have a lot of consumers content, a lot of beauty content, and specifically from women, from men, a lot of gaming content. I wouldn't say that the highest priority algorithmic like content is going to be the educational stuff. It's definitely more of the mindless stuff. But I won't get into that yet.
His words is words. I don't really particularly look at it like that. I believe what he's more or less referring to are, you got two types of men and two types of women. The givers and the takers. The ones who walk fully in their truth and the ones who live in someone else's reality. I think he's talking about the men who they grew up believing that money. All right, how can I frame this? So what's the first thing you think of when you see or come across a content creator? You follow a few people and watch a few people. Like, what did you think about one specific person who has 1 million subscribers or 800,000 subscribers? You think they're pretty credible, they're pretty reliable, so you're more likely to invest a little bit more into what they got going on. They have more access to certain things. I think that when we have these conversations, you talk about, all right, well, get your money up, go to the gym, eat healthier, read more, love yourself more. I think a lot of these dudes, all they hear is get more money, get more of the numbers behind you, and then you will have all that you ask for. People will be nicer to you. But you're not learning the other fundamentals that come along with it. How to say no, how not to people please, how to judge whether or not a person is there for the right reasons or not. How to know if that's really going to be a friend or just some number that just hit a thumbs up. How do you know if this woman is interested in you for who you are? So you got the man who knows how to be a people person. He's very sociable, personable. He knows how to walk away, be alone. He knows how to do business, be in and out of a relationship if necessary. Then you got the guy who he copy pasted your blueprint, but didn't take all of the internal works and apply it alongside the gifts and the talents that he has. And so what you ended up doing is you took this watered down version of success, you got out here, you see a bunch of attractive women, and you say, ooh, I want that one, I want that one. On the flip side, you got the women who were raised on social media and this idea that this is nothing more than a transactional relationship. The finesse era is here. We got to get to you before you get to us. We're going to use you. All you want from us is our bodies. So we're going to, you got two different groups being told and taught how to engage with each other, and it messed up the market for a lot of genuine people. I think that's what he's referring to. As far as like the nerd comment, I don't agree with the nerd comment. I never like that word. Let's just say they have interests that are different than yours. You might not be in the gaming. That's fine. Doesn't mean you play basketball. Does that make you a nerd? Oh, you were in the NFL. Does that make you a nerd? Why does that word attach itself to stuff like cartoons, games, and stuff? Why can't it be applied to sports if that's the case? I don't like that word. I disagree with it, but I understand what he was referring to some extent.
I think to a degree, he was also kind of touching on the aspect of lifestyle creep, where it's not just the people that are online and posting these videos and promoting this lifestyle that are the ones contributing to this problem, but it's also the women. I speak mostly about women because I am more familiar with women's videos and stuff like that. But it does go the same for men. I just think I don't know if it's a biased opinion because of my exposure, but it feels like it is more with women than men. Where men kind of, it seems like their niche is more like video games, pranks, like, I guess rarely you'll see lifestyle videos, vehicles, stuff like that. Where women, it's usually showing off like my hauls and this is what I bought and this is my outfits, this is my wardrobe. These are it's very often like consumerism based. But it like, number one, to get to that level, oftentimes they fall to using sponsors and stuff like that. So like half of their videos, or more than half of their videos, all of their videos are promotional content. It's them showing off certain products that they're getting paid to show on, even though they're making money off of it and may not even use that product. But it promotes women to follow this lifestyle, to think that, oh, I have to do that too, to be normal, to be special, to be whatever. And with the aspect of lifestyle creep, if you are seeing people doing, like, if for example, I watch stuff about overconsumption, and some of these women are going out on like $500 to $5,000 hauls at any number of stores. And if you're seeing other women do that, you are more likely to push yourself to those levels. And even with influencers, they're going to try and max out the other celebrity or the other influencers and do more than them, to keep gaining notoriety and who can have the most makeup and who can have the most clothes and whatever. And so it raises the price for even normal women, where non-YouTubers and non-streamers and whatever, they think that they need to also achieve this lifestyle, like a modern version of keeping up with the Joneses. And as women raise their own personal, I need to have these bags, I need to have this brand of makeup, I need to have this type of clothes and whatever, that increases their price for their partners as well. Like they're going to expect their partners to uphold that standard for them. Like the parties need to be bigger, the presents need to be bigger, the house needs to be bigger and better, so they can achieve this lifestyle that matches what they're seeing online. And I've noticed with curated content and like the celebrities, I keep saying celebrities, but like the big names. Ooh, I like your stamp. It's a rainbow, isn't it? Mm-hmm. The more they, the higher up in the algorithm they are, the more that lifestyle is catered to the algorithm. Like it drives me nuts seeing how many people have like the white background and the beige furniture and the like cutesy little cheap decoration they probably got from Pure One Imports or probably Shane. And they all look the same. They all wear the same outfits. They all have the same makeup. They all have the same look. And they all talk the same. I watched a video a couple months ago talking about how there's like an influencer accent now where they all have the same like diction, and the way they speak is within the same like pattern and same words and everything. And I can't stand how saturated YouTube is with these types of people, because it feels so disingenuous, especially when I watch stuff about like minimalism and stuff like that. They all have the same brand of minimalism. I'm like, I miss the era when people did it for sustainability reasons. Now they do it because it looks nice and you get views and like you get to show off of how like modest you are. And I don't know, even that became a competition when it was originally a psychological, physiological kind of aspect, more of a reason. And so, yeah, as more and more women are seeing these like perfectly curated lifestyles, they expect that they have to be that way. You kind of brought it up before, where now there's like a formula for the perfect life. Like you have to go to the gym and you have to have a certain car and you have to have a certain type of job. And then you have to go to Starbucks to get your coffee every morning. And then you have to go on a walk with your cute little dog. And that it's like people have lost their ability to live as themselves. And now more people are living the way that they see emulated online instead. And as I said, with lifestyle creep, this is going to affect relationships because now people are going to expect more for their partners, and they're going to expect their partners to fit within a certain box as well and have a certain income and have a certain job. And if they don't, then, oh, well, they don't fit the lifestyle, so they're not good enough. So I definitely think that, as he was saying, like it raises the price on women, and women are kind of raising the prices on themselves. Like we've seen this in the videos of like the balloon pop videos or other things where the women are talking about, well, he has to make at least 6 figures. Like he has to have this, and this to be the perfect husband. And so we're raising the price on everyone else and putting unrealistic expectations on everyone around us for how we should be treated, how much money we should be making, how much they should give us. And it's making everyone more selfish because it's now not about like, who can I connect with? Who can I help? Who can I benefit? It's now more, what can you give me? What can you as a viewer do for me to make me more popular? And then of course that bleeds into the rest of life, where now we see all these entitled women that are like, you only spent $1,500 for my birthday. My friend got $2,000. Like, I can't. So yeah, it definitely has affected the dynamic of personal values and how people see themselves and how people see other people.
See, I'm not mad at him for calling out these specific group of men, but you brought up a good point. We don't have enough accountability partners out here. And everything is a competition. Sink or swim. Nobody wants to be themselves. I've heard and I've noticed the monotone thing. I've seen all the tutorials, the YouTube one-on-one classes on how to captivate the audience within the first 20 seconds and all that bull. There, you gotta make sure you have a script. Make sure you know what to say right here so you can capture them and all.
Manipulation.
Right. It's either the person is going to like what you do or they're not. But see, there's already this ugly system that the algorithm tends to gravitate towards, which is typically mukbangs, the whole drinks, like you said. Skits are popular. The dating stuff is pretty popular. There's a few others that I've noticed, but it's one thing to obtain all of the success. I congratulate anybody who was able to use this and then build on it, double, flip, turn $100 into $100,000. But what you do with it afterwards, that's going to test your character. That's going to reveal to the rest of society, your peers, and all of that, what type of man or woman you are. You got, like I said, you got two sides. You got men who show you how to do this. You got women who show you how to do certain stuff, but you're not talking about the intrinsic parts, the things that actually matter. It's cool, but if a person don't know who you are for who you are, then what are you doing all of this flexing for? What's the point of you showing your body off for? Why are you telling these women that it's okay to be half naked and to trick men out of their money so that you could obtain a certain or maintain a certain lifestyle? Why are you telling them that? Why are you promoting or advocating for it? And why are men giving you these red pill points, but they're not telling you about the other stuff? Let's keep it fair all the way across the board. This is what comes with being a gold digger. This is what comes with being a dude who leads with his wallet. Don't just tell them to do this and do that. And it starts at home. It's spilled over into the internet. And here we are like, all right, what's a streamer to you? There's a streamer, just someone who plays video games on Twitch and they got a whole setup of video games and stuff like that in their room. Is a streamer a podcaster? Is a streamer a reaction video analyst? Is a streamer someone who just eats food and talks crap about people for 20, 30, 40 minutes? What is an actual streamer for you? Rhetorical. I mean, what the real problem here is there's a false narrative that is being put out here, and everybody is applying that science to copulation, but it's absolutely asinine. If you're using it, it's temporary. It's only going to get you but so far, and the evidence shows for it. We've been down this road way too much for y'all to still think that something's going to change by doing the same or performing the same system over and over and over again. So now you got a bunch of entitled women and a bunch of lost dudes angry at the world. Men ain't this, women ain't this. But the only reason y'all feel the way you feel is because you've been using the wrong methods to get what you want or what your heart desires. That's it. That's all this really come down to. Then you just essentially you mess it up for everybody else. You got it.
I think there's also kind of a feedback loop as well, where even the viewers kind of feed the craziness, where they challenge the YouTubers, streamers, whatever they are, to go to push higher as well. It's not just internally, like the person all on their own wanting to like spend all this money, but you'll have trolls, and I can't imagine well-meaning people are wanting to like make people push themselves further. But once it gets to certain levels, I feel like it's mostly trolls that are like, well, can you do this? And it makes it so even the viewers are kind of expecting more and more. And in the same way with rage bait, it drives more traffic to the people that are living really extreme lives, and therefore encouraging the algorithm to promote people that are living those lives. Like, I cannot tell you how hard it is now to find wholesome content. Like, I actively search for the minimalists and stuff like that, the scientists that have channels that are just authentic, like having a conversation with you behind the camera. I cannot stand curated content because to me it seems so fake. And like the people that follow the same patterns just don't hold interest for me, because I don't feel like authentic people are genuinely trying to connect with you. It feels more like they're trying to make $1 off of you and off of your views. And it's sad because there's so much we can do with social media. Like, we have seen instances of it where people use social media to bring attention to important events that are ignored, or to groups of people that are struggling, or to raise money for problems, you name it, GoFundMe style stuff. But not many people really do that, or at least the ones that do are blocked out essentially by all of the other content creators that are just doing it for money, because the people that do it for money, they're going to be posting at a pace to maintain the certain number of viewers and whatever. And so they have like an actual schedule, and they spend all their time like curating all of these videos, and thinking of what they can do next. But the authentic channels, they post as things come up, and they post in ways that elicit thought and conversation, and are not just giving you the basics, but they're trying to go deeper. But that content is so incredibly hard to find these days, because the algorithm promotes those that are promotionist, essentially, because the internet, whatever stream site you're using, they want money too. And so they're going to promote the ones that make them the most amount of money. And so the people that make them the most amount of money are going to be the people that create living commercials for them and are promoting, I use these products to clean my house, I use these products on my body, I eat this type of food, I go to these restaurants, I buy these cars and these purses and whatever. And so you're going to drive the viewership towards that direction, because unless somebody's willing to hunt for new content, most people are just like, we see it with TikTok, we see it with people in general, our attention spans are so short, and nobody's going to actively search different terms to see what they can find. Most people are just going to be like, oh, that video is interesting, scroll, oh, that's interesting. And so you're also tuning the viewer's expectations to that type of content. And I would say a lot of people don't even think to explore other creators. They just automatically go to the big names, even if it doesn't exactly resonate with what they're looking for. And so that's kind of all to say. It's a feedback loop where the viewership is also simultaneously demanding that type of promotional content over actual authentic discussion and meaningful type of work put out there. And generally what I've noticed is the people that live a life that is more meaningful, that is more real, they're not obsessed with getting their image out online, because they know and they recognize like family's important, friends are important, time off is important. Whereas the people that are algorithm based and promoting a certain lifestyle are focused more on output. And once you start to focus on output versus quality, the videos that you put out are going to become more and more inauthentic. It's almost the same situation as with consumer goods, where society has switched from, we're going to make products that last a long time, that are high quality, that are beneficial, that give people what they want or what they need, to products that are, how fast can we make these and how many can we sell? And the products are so cheap. Like even all these big names like Dior and Prada and all those big names, a lot of them are getting in trouble because they're finding out that their bags are they only spend like $20 to $40 to make the bags that they're selling for thousands of dollars. And so we're seeing this this dramatic reduction in quality and also diversity of content, because people are more focused on just getting the videos out there. And so they copy what everyone else is doing. And what's the topic that everyone's doing right now? What's the conversation that everyone's having? Where's the place that everyone is going? So it is going to affect the content and reduce the ability for somebody to, one, on the viewership side, to find new and interesting content that contribute differently to their lives than all the other stuff. And then for creators, it makes it much, much harder to be authentic because it makes people more likely to choose what everyone else is doing rather than what they already want to, and they're also going to modify their opinions to match what everyone else says because nobody wants to get canceled as well. I think that's another aspect that kind of contributes to this is the whole cancel culture, where you have to be super cautious about the things that you say, the words that you use, the type of lifestyle that you live. Like you can get shot down for using certain products that are owned by companies that do certain things. You can be shot down because you are like, you know, there's so many mundane reasons that somebody will be canceled on the internet. So it's it's definitely leading to this decline in quality as a result of people trying to meet what the algorithm wants. And when you have a decline in quality of your content, you're going to be limiting yourself in other areas of your life as well, because you're going to be dedicating all your time to producing these videos instead of actually exploring. That's why I absolutely love the format that we have here, like on Wednesdays and Mondays, because it's, to me, it feels so much more authentic. We're not like meeting up before, like, all right, who's going to say what? Like, it's a direct conversation between people exploring the different facets. And sometimes the conversation goes in a completely different direction than we expect. And I feel like that type of authenticity allows people to explore things in a way that actually can lead to deeper understandings and new perspectives and stuff like that. More of an explanation, more of an exploration of topics that matter with more open-ended conclusions rather than like this neatly tied up with a bow type of content where at the end they all say the same thing, they all close out the same way. And going back to kind of what he originally said, it's raising the price on women because now women are expected to talk a certain way, to live a certain way, to look a certain way, because all of the people on social media are doing it, and so all the regular people are doing it. And so if you're different than regular people, you could be shunned or whatever. And it leads women to think that if they live a certain lifestyle, they should be able to afford that lifestyle, even if they can't, even if it doesn't fit within their lifestyle. They think that they should at least be able to buy the lifestyle that everyone else has. And that kind of content promotes that type of behavior. I think that's a huge reason why we're seeing overconsumption content everywhere. And this like really vapid way of living, because women are living for other people instead of themselves now. And when you live for other people, your standards will be whoever is the most famous. When you live for yourself, your standard is yourself. So when you have people that are basically thinking that they can buy their way to celebrityhood, they're of course going to expect everyone around them to treat them like that. Entitlement. That is 100% what it is. Entitlement. And thinking that, well, all I have to do is these few things and then I'll automatically become famous. So, yeah, I definitely see how this could be, quote unquote, raising the price on women or men. And I think it's a shame. Like, I really wish we were like the 2016, 2018 internet era was so good. Like, there's so much great, new, authentic conversations, content, stuff like that, people wanting to make a difference. And now it just seems like everybody is doing the same thing. They all have the same background, they all have the same haircut. It's just sad. Like, I miss when people came on with their authentic personalities.
And that's why you see such a decline in the dating market. That's why people can't recognize who's a friend and who's a foe. I swear, everything feels generic. completely generic. I can't watch AI videos. I cannot watch videos where I see streamers, what's the word, collaborating with other streamers from different universes. You are into anime. This person is into boxing. Y'all do not mix well at all, but because you're trying to reach a different audience and draw them in, then you'll do it. Another thing that you're not understanding too is when you copy and paste other people's lifestyles and their formats, you can't change who you are. Like if who you are isn't what you're mimicking, it's going to reveal itself, and you're going to look stupid. So you're better off just being you. I would rather be in my own lane, doing my own thing. You can say this or that, as long as I'm not like prototype A, B, and C. I'm cool with that. I'm very content with that. You don't like my personality on certain things, cool. That means that you're more fitted for something more fast paced, someone who is more flashy and extroverted. Cool. But y'all out here not understanding that the copy paste thing is not, it's not really, and this is an unpopular opinion. I don't think the copy and paste style is going to survive very much longer. That's on screen, off screen, being in someone's DMs, all that. Because eventually you're going to have to show up as yourself. Then what? Well, what are you going to do then? So it's sad. But I mean, we've already been dealing with this for the last 20 years or so. It's just getting worse now because everybody's living here on the screen. What do you say to that? I say you love yourself. Love who you actually are, not who they told you you're supposed to be. Just because the algorithm doesn't match your wit or your charm or your delivery or your style, that doesn't mean that you aren't good enough. That's scary. It's scary when the numbers dictate what type of character you are. So if I get on, you telling me if I get on Instagram, I get on Threads, I get on Facebook or wherever, and I only have one view, that means that what, I'm only worth one, that I'm a one on the Richter scale, on the attraction scale, on the personality. So if I have 80,000 people who view this, does that mean that I'm better than this person or that person? Does that mean I'm a good person, a good woman, or a good guy? Y'all better stop with that. Stop relying on numbers to give you an identity. It might help some to a certain extent, but that shouldn't be who you are, period. Buying affection doesn't mean spending just money. Buying affection means sacrificing who you are to keep them. Buying affection could mean you giving all of your energy and time to people that don't deserve it, or you going out of your way to try to impress them, or you're trying to make yourself look good in front of people to impress them. No, that's not the wave. come on screen or walk up to the person or whatever the conditions are. Let it be like this and see where it go. If it don't go nowhere, it just don't go nowhere. One of them issues I continuously have with people with huge followings. Some of them are responsible with what they put out here. Some of them don't care. They'll let you fall right into the trap. Don't make no sense to tell somebody you can have this and do it. All you got to do is do this and do that, but you don't give them the full rundown because you're impatient or the metrics say, well, you gotta make sure that the spike stays at a certain point on the analytics. So if it's going like this, you want it to go up here and then you want it to kind of stay up here. If it starts to dip, then it's a problem. So you're going to have to do things and say things, or you're going to have to put things together to make sure. And I'm not talking about just on screen. I'm talking about like in face-to-face interpersonal situations. You have to be yourself. That's the only way you're going to get the best out of the other person and yourself. I just see a bunch of men and women cheating themselves out of experiences that could be a lot more fruitful than what they actually are today.
One thing, you brought up AI, and I think that's also a huge component because now people are competing with bot created videos and all of this fake content. And I've seen videos talking about influencers both on social media and on video sharing sites where the person doesn't exist, but people think they do. And they're basically copying, stealing content from real content creators to make these AI videos. And they're basically regurgitating things that already exist just to get views. And so we have people that aren't real people literally gathering views, farming views from people that are not real. And it's going to be impossible eventually if AI generated content becomes as huge as it could. It's going to be super problematic for anybody that does produce videos because they're just going to have their content stolen. If they're successful, then the AI whatever system is going to be like, oh, cool, I can use that to create these videos that are perfectly tailored to the algorithm. And because they are AI generated, they can basically perfect it and make it something that like everyone's just going to click on because it has all of the perfect information and they can't say the wrong thing. And God forbid they do say the wrong thing, the company can just apologize and move on. Whereas people, actual people, if they say something wrong, they have to explain themselves, they have to apologize, they have to show some segment of remorse to even get their population, their viewer population back, even if they're able to, because sometimes, you know, people make those irreparable mistakes and can't come back from it. Another thing too, one of the secret damages of this is that now we have adults raising their children into the same lifestyle, and they force their kids to live highly curated lives. They dress them all the same. They're all matchy-matchy, and they dictate how the room looks because it matters more how the mom feels or how it looks on camera. And then they have to act a certain way. And then you have all these moms pushing their kids to be on camera, even if it's not safe or even if the kid does not want to participate. I cannot tell you how many videos I've seen where the kids in the background like, why are we doing this again? And this is going to affect the behavior of our children in two different directions. We're going to have some children that are going to grow up to resent their parents and will want nothing to do with technology because they're seeing the impacts on their parents. I've seen videos where kids, little kids, like 8, 9, are confronting their mothers or their other parents. Yeah, just like dance moms. They're confronting their parents saying, like, you don't care about me. You care more about making videos than you care about me. And there was one heartbreaking one where her daughter was young, like 7, 8. And she confronted her mom about how she's always posting videos about her online. And whenever they go out, all she cares about is the pictures and the videos that she posts on her social media account. And when she confronted her mom about it, her mom literally said, well, our interactions don't matter unless I can put it up on social media. Is that how you feel about me? And I think that's so sad and depressing that you could tell your child that your interactions with them don't matter unless you can show it off to other people. And we have a lot of kids that are now being exposed to that lifestyle where their parents are ignoring them so they can develop a social media presence for themselves under the guise of, oh, it's to help you. And I've also seen countless stories of the parents forcing their kids onto social media and then taking the money that their children are making for themselves. Like, if I don't believe in promoting, like, doing that online with my children. Of course, they pop into the video from now and again. But I don't believe in, like, showing off your kids' lifestyle, what the routine is like, how you dress your kids, how you feed your kids. Like, if you want to, that's your own thing. But, like, me personally, I don't want to do that to them because I don't want their lives to be, like, on screen. And when they meet friends one day, they're gonna be like, oh, you live that way? And I want them to have kind of a fresh presence in the world where they're not tied down by these videos that I've been making for years and years and years on these kids. Not to mention, I won't even get into it, but the AI content that ends up being turned into CP, that the AI is taking innocent videos of kids and turning it into content that people are using, disgusting content. And it's going to affect the way our children live. The other side of things is you're going to have the kids that do fall into that and follow those footsteps, and they're going to become just as vapid and empty-minded as their parents. They're going to have no sense of self. They're going to have no sense of style. They're going to have no sense of authenticity because they're just exposed to what's popular. And I mean, we've seen it with, was it Ryan's Toys? He's super popular, but he basically buys the toys that are popular, and he ended up turning into a streamer that mostly talks about buying stuff and buying content. I mean, buying products and stuff like that. And he's like a promotion machine. These kids are not given a chance to live a life. Like, they're not running outdoors playing. They're not going to museums and to parks and to like aquariums and all kinds of stuff to explore the world and understand the world around them. And they're only going to understand what they're seeing online because that's all they're exposed to. And I mean, we're seeing the effects already. We have kids that don't know how to read, that don't know how to do math, that don't know how to socialize. I've gone to more restaurants lately now that my kids are older, and I could not tell you how many times I have seen actual iPad kids. Like, where I just went to dinner for my birthday earlier this week, and while we were there was a family that came in. They had a son that was probably in his early teens, another son that was probably in his pre-teens, and then a daughter that was probably like 7 or 8. The daughter had her phone and was watching stuff on it. Both the sons were on their, or no, the daughter had an iPad. The sons were on their phones, and both of them had like the big headphones on. And then the mom was scrolling on the phone the entire dinner. And then the husband was just kind of like sitting there. And I'm like, how sad is that? Like when I was younger, my parents and we'd go to lunch or dinner out to places, and we'd bring like a board game, and or we'd be talking. We just have conversations and stuff. And if I had my headphones in, they'd call me out on it. They'd be like, what are you doing? Like, we're all here together as a family. But now I see families living separately even when they're together. They're all on their own phones, they're all on their own devices, ignoring each other. They're probably not watching a lot of good content anyways. It's probably just like showing somebody else playing a video game, or I don't even know what little girls are watching nowadays, but it's like they don't have any interactions with their parents at all, so they're not taught how to process any of the information that they're taking in. Kids are watching thousands of hours of videos. There was a mom that made the news recently, or a child that made the news recently. She was like 12 or something like that, and her mom got a warning, or like they called her into school because they found out that her daughter was spending, over the course of the school year, 15,000 hours on YouTube during school hours. Like, kids are being exposed to thousands of hours of content, and the parents are not engaged at all. And parents are required to help children process the things that they see around them. We have to explain to them how the world works, how money works, how death works, how like social interactions work, what the rules of society are. And if they're just constantly watching videos and the parent is disengaged watching their own videos, their kid's not going to absorb anything. They're just going to absorb whatever they see, and you just have to spin the roulette wheel and hope that they don't come across content that's going to damage their minds and get into things that are like weird or whatever. Like with my kids, I ask them questions all the time about what they're seeing. Like, how do you think this works? What do you think that is? What do you think that means? Because they're blank slates. They don't know anything yet. Or like they develop a lot of like by experience. And so you have to be there walking them through those experiences so they understand how things work. Otherwise, they're going to have no clue about anything. Like, they're not going to know how to cook. They're not going to know how to save or spend money. They're not going to know how buying a house works or how politics works. Or like, we wonder why kids don't want real jobs anymore, because all they see is influencers and social media, and they think, oh, well, if I just put videos up, then I can make money that way. And there's no like real development anymore in such a huge part of the population. And it's sad. It is so sad, because there's so many amazing things out there in the world to learn. Like the people that learn things, that learn history, that understand science, that understand how the world works, those are the problem solvers. Those are the ones that see the dysfunction of society and see like, oh, people sometimes don't have homes. Oh, some people in parts of the world are starving. Oh, if this thing doesn't get fixed, these people can get hurt. Like, if you don't have exposure to stuff like that, you become less empathetic, you become less understanding. You're not able to contribute to society in a meaningful way because you're not even aware of the problems that exist. I've seen adults that are like this, that have no clue what's actually happening in the world around them. And we're creating a generation just like this, where they don't know anything. There was another video I saw, teachers talking about experiences they've had with kids. And there was another incident that stuck out in my mind, where it was a sophomore in high school class, and one of the kids' backpacks had like fallen off the desk and landed on the floor in the aisle. And all the kids in the class, or like a bunch of the kids in the classroom, got in a traffic jam behind the backpack, and they were all staring at the backpack, asking the teacher, what do we do? She's like, what do you mean, what do you do? Pick up the backpack and move it. Well, where do we put it? I can't get through. Like, I can't step over it. It's in the way. Like, what do we do? Are we really that bad that they can't even problem solve picking up an object off the floor? I'm like, are we really that far gone? So this saturation of media is going to stunt the future generations just as much as it's stunting our own generation, our own adult population. So it's pretty sad. Like he's definitely there where it's overinflating our value without us actually offering anything up in return. It's exactly the same way as with brand name stuff, where it's expecting you to spend thousands of dollars on these really cheap, shitty bags and purses and clothes and whatever, because, well, life dictates that it's expensive. It's supposed to be expensive because it's a certain type of bag, it's a certain type of brand. And now people are living that same exact lifestyle where they think if I look the part, then I deserve the money. And that is not how the world works, but that's what people are learning right now.
And that's how you're supposed to do it, Paul. That's how you're supposed to do it. Calling them nerds and oh, cool. You got your clip. It went viral. But you didn't. If what you did was provide a table, a plate, this was Thanksgiving. So everything that you needed right here. I'm trying to tell you, you are better off building from the ground up, cultivating your own path that is not controlled by the way anybody else thinks. If you decide that you want to continue down this road, because a lot of us are to blame for how the generation is. Shout outs to some of these young minds, man, that's getting degrees in college at 12, 14 years old. It's a few of them. I've posted on my community page alone a few of them that's doing it. So it's not that they're lost. It's because a lot of these people that we're talking about are our age or a little younger. But man, I don't know. The generation is cooked, man. It is. And then like unless there's a huge reset, because YouTube is cracking down on the AI stuff. They have been. They haven't gotten to everybody, but I've seen a few YouTubers crying and complaining, oh, my channel got demonetized. Yeah, well, you shouldn't have been stealing. That's really what you're doing. You're stealing. You ain't using your own original voice, face, nothing. You saw a format that worked and you used it. And hey, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, like, you didn't think it's going to catch up to you. Anyway, I would rather be original than be inauthentic. Period. The tricking error, I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't think you will ever get rid of it. The only way you could possibly put a dent in it is to get them to come to the light, get them to come to the right platforms to hear the real breakdowns, knock them upside their head, or they're just going to have to learn the hard way and keep getting their pockets tapped, their bank accounts emptied, and end up in scandals over and over and over again, like we keep saying, because you keep on leading with your money. Shout outs. Shout outs. Let me see what's going on in the comments, man. Shout outs to Levy, Chef. A lot of people want to be first, but at the expense of yeah. Everybody can't have the same positions. We all have gifts and talents, but what you do is not necessarily what I do. I would look like an idiot trying to do what you do. That don't work. But that's what's happening. And that's why Paul Pierce went off the way he went off. But he left too much out. And that's why I wanted to bring that up here so we could peel the layers back. I'm all about peeling the layers back. Hollywood G14 classified. Salutes. But hey, look, I'm gonna say thank you, Sid, for pulling up. Shout out to everybody in the building, of course. Be yourself, love yourself. Money is not the root. The heart of the man's heart and love for money is what causes the issues that we have. It's not necessarily the money itself. Pride and ego, low self-esteem, not really truly knowing who you are gets us in the most trouble. I would rather be away from everybody before I ever put myself in a situation where my lack of is going to cause me to partake of something that is not for me. If you want to say anything before we close out, you got the floor.
Yeah, I have a poem that I thought was perfect to end with. This one is about the internet. It literally is called Internet. I think it touches on a lot of what we talked about. Like a haunted house, it beckons, opening curtains when you go, enticing with its antique fixtures, wrapped in modern bows, waiting eagerly every day for you to sit and stay, urging with ethereal displays and begging you to play, pulling with the kind of gravity few can always resist, even brains convince assuredly, just give in, just once, just damn your soul to the Lord of the Clicks. It summons you, come closer, the blue light straight from hell. Like a vortex it consumes you, pulling you through its realm. Anything you'd ever want is at your fingertips. Buy your youth, flaunt your wealth, invest in me, sell with us, purchase skills, cure your rust, get yourself next year's ABX Supreme. You can find almost anything, you can have it all you see. Find your wife, upgrade your life, stuff is a flow and money a stream. Use plastic that they press to feed you, buy up all your dreams. When you soak in this vile trench, there is no end to what it can quench. The forever options, full of lies, playing tricks upon your eyes. No more is time, no more is night. Our trigger fingers fighting only wheels and our sight. Though gloaming promotes the roaming, the moment is always right. To conjure all the demons of spite and respite. Dwelling on your past shells and shames, and looking up their names, enticing ugly words from you, the ones you'd never say. Sitting there with four-sided knives for bleeding out your lies, smearing sure slurs through closed lips, though later they're not but slips. Voluntarily serving our days to its endless churning goo, graciously consuming these priceless moments in exchange for you. If you invite the gremlins in to satiate each women taste, quickly do the lessons come to repudiate your craze. We think it's our mind unfurled, acting like a stimulant, an education, and its own new world. Then we see the wide-eyed drain our stakes, and finally find the putrid snakes. Too late. If money cannot purchase time, how did it buy yours? For though we have shared ourselves far and wide and deep, living in perpetuous parties will only cause decline. We sit staring numbly at the lights dancing in the tines, facing mirrors as we dine, so desperate for their shine. The more we attempt to capture life within a stable frame, we see the worthlessness of the eternal glow of fame. Is nothing more than a cruel illusion. You'll still feel all alone, it's true, as millions may have seen your face, but no one knows who's you. So, yeah, I thought that was very fitting to end and really speaks to everything that we talked about. So, I hope you enjoyed. You're on mute.
Blessings, 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 blessings. Happy Friday to y'all. I hope y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Tap in with me tomorrow evening. You know what I'm saying? If you available, do me a solid before you go.
What's the goddamn button?
Peace.
Bye, guys. Thanks for coming. See you next week.
The flow insane. Take my spot, so the range. Shoot my shot with perfect aim. Third degree, that perfect flame. Ain't no sleep, that's the game. Oh, so southern, that's the slang. When they see me, that's the main. Chasing checks and fly like planes. Big old stick, I bought a cane. Flick my wrist and bought the ring.